Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we'll continue building financial model for a manufacturing business idea, and today we will be moving closer to the revenues. So last video we were talking about pricing, and now we need to come to the closer to the revenues. So if you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. At the end screen of this video, I will be giving the link to the playlist where all these tutorials will be placed. And when we will finish this financial model, I will give all the links to these tutorials in the description of this video as well, so you can watch all the videos for free from the very beginning, from scratch, video by video. Now let's go to the top. I will briefly show what we were doing at the previous tutorials. So this is the beginning of our model. So blue color is assigned for our inputs. So we have two products, for example. We have product A and product B. We can switch each product on and off from calculations to see the performance, cash flow, simple, discounted payback period, with or without this or that product. Here we can see the productivity of a production line for product A and product B, how many products is being produced hourly, how many units of this product being produced hourly. These are global and local coefficient for productivity for future scenario play. Then we assume that we have two manufacturing lines. We can switch these lines from calculations for scenario analysis. Then for each line we can allocate the time that we produce product A and product B. We can specify its own allocation for product A and product B for each line individually. Then we specify when we start generating the revenues, so when we start operating activity, year and month. Then we are assuming that we have so each line has 3 shifts, which we can switch on and off to see the performance of the business. And so this is for line 1, this is for line 2. Then we can specify when each shifts on each line appears from the moment of operating activity start. So for example, line 1 appears right on the first month of operating activity, it is December 23. The second shift appears on the 7th month of operating activity, it is June 24. The third shift appears on the 19th month of operating activity, it is June 2025. We can adjust this data. For example, this can be 37th month of operating activity, this will be December 26. So we can play with with all this data that we want, creating numerous amount of scenarios to see how stable our business idea is. Then we specify how many hours do we have in one shift. Then we have the typical year, where we put the amount of work days inside each month. So here are these inputs. Then we are moving to the raw materials. This is the list of all raw materials that participate in our manufacturing process. This is the cost per 1 unit of raw material. This is the coefficient, global and local coefficient, for the price of raw material. Then we specify if there is any displacement between the raw material is needed in the production process and the moment that we actually purchase it. So if 0, then there is no displacement, and if we have here, for example, a 3, this means there is a 3 months logistic period between we need this we need this raw material in manufacturing process and when we actually buy it. So this displaces our expenses on raw materials to the left, and this allows us to calculate more accurately the need in additional financing. So this is very important. And here we can specify the purchasing interval for each raw material. So for example, this raw material is purchased one monthly. This raw material is purchased once in 4 months. This also increases the quality of calculating the amount of financing needed for the business. So here we can calculate the cost of raw materials very accurately. Then we specify for each product. So here we have product A and product B. Here we can add the raw material that participates in manufacturing process of product A, and here we can specify how many units of raw material number 11 is needed to produce one product A. So here we specify natural matrix of raw materials that are needed to produce one unit of product A. The same story we have for product B. Then we move to investment plan. So here we have the list of investment items, and here on the right we can specify how much we invest and when we invest before we start operating activity. So this is the investment stage: expenses, what we invest in, how much we invest in, and when we invest in. Then we are moving to payroll. So we have 3 types of payroll. So this is the global coefficient for all payroll expenses to make us able easily play with all this stuff. So we have line 1 and line 2. These are positions assigned to line 1. This is the salary per person on one position. This is the amount of people on each position that we need if we work 1 shift a day, 2 shifts a day, and 3 shifts a day. Here we have the salary plan, payroll plan, and here we have global coefficient for salary for line 1 and local coefficient for salary for each position if we need to play with each number without playing with inputs themselves. So this is the story for line 1. This is the story for line 2. Then we have fixed payroll. So fixed payroll is a type of payroll when we have some office staff, management positions. So these are the names of positions. These are the amount of people on each position. These are the salary per person on each position. This is global coefficient, local coefficient, and this is the salary fixed payroll final values. And then we have the third type of salary payroll. So we have direct payroll that is linked to amount of units product A and product B manufactured. So these are direct payroll items for product A. How many dollar um, of salary for this article we have for product A. These are coefficients: local, global, and coefficient for direct payroll more globally. So for example, if we want to decrease these costs on 50%, we can see it here. And by the way, we can even use global payroll coefficient here. Add this coefficient here. Let me add it as well. Let me add it, plus multiply this coefficient. So we can play with global coefficients, we can play with local coefficients for specific item. So this will all be needed during scenario analysis. Then we are moving to pricing. So we assume that we have for each product we have 3 types of customers, and we allocate the amount of units produced between these 3 types of customers. This is done for product A and for product B. We can play with this allocation as well. Then we are moving to pricing. So we have for product A customer types 1, 2, 3. This is the price that we are using for selling product A to this group of customers. This is the global coefficient for pricing. This is local coefficient for pricing. This is coefficient for pricing for product A, and this is coefficient for pricing for product B. Here we specify the individual price for each type of customer, for each type of product. And here we have the final values of pricing, so we can, for example, decrease pricing here. This can be easily done for all types of customers, or we can decrease only pricing for all customer types for product B, or we can play with pricing just for customer type number 5. So this will give us a huge amount of capability to play with, to build absolutely different scenarios during sensitivity analysis. So, and here we describe how these customer types pay us. So for example, this type of customer pay us everything today. This type of customer pay us everything on the next month from the moment when we sell the products. This type of customer pay us everything on the 3rd month from the moment when we sell him the product. So we can play here, we can describe the algorithm of payment in these cells of inputs. So now let's move to the revenues. So first of all, let's create the step 1, let's call it step 1 revenues. So I'll copy the timeline, step 1, let's call it this way. So here on the left I will place customer types, and here I will write a very simple formula. I will take final prices from here with all coefficients added and multiply it on production plan allocation between customer types. I will be using this data. So this is the revenue, but these values of revenue are not displaced. So let's say it is a raw revenue. So first of all, what we will need to transpose this story. Okay, let's just create a new group of tables. So this will be transpose. This will be customer type 1. So here, from left to right, what I will do, I will be counting months of time horizon of our project. So here will be the total. I will need this column afterwards. Then here, from top to the bottom, I will also have 10 years of horizon of our manufacturing project. So this is where this table will end, and now I will write a very simple formula. If this value here we freeze the line equals to this value, here we freeze the column, then we will place this value, here we freezing the column, the line, otherwise 0. And now I'm closing the brackets. So I've just extrapolated these formulas to the right, and then I will create totals for this line, but I will need not A, I will need just total starting from B, from here, not from here. Now I will extrapolate this formula to the bottom. So these are the values of revenues. This is when they appear in timeline, but now we need to displace these values inside the timeline. So this is done for customer type number 1. I will hide these lines. So this will be data, outline, group. So this will be customer type number 1. Then I will copy this table 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I will put here 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then let's just put here the right years. Now we will need to go here to adjust the formula. So we can use the values from here, but we will need to drag these values here. So this will be the second type of customer. Second, then third, one, two, three, third, then customer type number 4, then customer type number 5, it's better to double check if you're not sure whether you dragged the cell or not, so check and double check because it's very important for accuracy. And then we're moving finally to customer number 6. So now we are done with transposing the revenues, and now we need to create another group of tables that will be focused on that will represent the payment cycles. So these are these payment cycles containing 3 months, and we need to place these cycles inside the timeline, and later we will link these percentage values to this or that month number inside the payment cycle. So what we will do now, I will copy this table. So I will assign a new name for this group of tables. So for example, this will be payment cycles, customer type number 1, so here I will write a formula. So for this formula I will need to open this table. So for January, for the first month, if this value is more than 0, then we will put 1, otherwise 0, closing brackets. And now I'm extrapolating this formula to the bottom. Then for this month I will have another formula. I will be using if and function. If this value equals to 0 and this value equals to 0, then I will put 0. Otherwise, let's describe another scenario. If this value is 0 but this one is more than 0, let's say we have the first revenue, then we put 1, and if the previous value is more than 0, and so if this value is more than 0 and this value is less than 3, Then we take the previous value plus 1, otherwise we're just closing the payment cycle. We're closing all the brackets. Now we are extrapolating this formula to the bottom and to the right. So these are the cycles. So the logic of this table is very simple. So if we go up, we have December 23, month number 12. So here we have, if we go to the next table, so line number 12, December, we have 1 here, and these are the months of cycle of payment. So to these months we will be assigning these percentage values of payment. So let's do the same exercise for all other types of customers. So this is customer type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is the payment cycles. Now we need to assign percentages. Let's say percentage of payment assigned. So this will be a new group of tables. So here I will write a formula. So I will need to write this formula, I will need this table. So I'm unhiding this data. So the formula will be very simple. If this value equals to 1, then I will put this value, then if 2, 3, 2, 3, and then I will G, then H, and then I, otherwise 0. So here will be the percentage format. Now I'm extrapolating this formula to the bottom and to the right. So we go to December. Here we have 100% of payment for this customer. Now I will copy this table one, customer type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5. So now I'm going to type 2. I will go here because I need to adjust formula a little bit, so this one links right, but here I will drag these cells down a bit for customer type number 2. Now I'm extrapolating these formulas to the bottom and to the right. Then we are moving to customer type number 3. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then customer type number 4. One, two, three, 4. Then 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We forgot to copy one more time. We have 6 types of customer. And moving to the last type of customer. So now we are done with that, and let's look, before we move to the next step, let's look at the story of just one payment. So for example, let's look at customer type 1. So the payment will be, for example, 30% on the first month, then 20% on the next month, so that it will be three payment. There will be three payments. So when we sell the product, we will get, at the moment when we sell the product on this particular month, we will get only 30% of its revenue. Next month will get us 20% of today's deal, and the month after the next month will give us 50% of today's deal. So first of all, the first table in December 23 we have this amount of revenue. Then the next table, payment cycles, shows us, so this will be 12th line. So in December 23 we have 3 months cycle of payments, and table number 3 which comes here, let's go on the 12th line. This shows us how this customer will pay us. On December, he will pay us 30% of that revenue. Then on the January, he will pay us 20%, and the last payment will be 50% of the revenue. And this revenue is this. So at the next video we will be consolidating the revenues. I hope you enjoyed this video. You may give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. At the end screen of this video I will be giving the link to the playlist where all these tutorials will be placed. And when we will finish this financial model, I will be placing all the links on these tutorials in the description of this video as well. So thank you guys for watching. See you in next videos. Thank you and bye.